we are excited that you guys are here today, and we're going to be unpacking a few things that are really about how do we work with horses in equine assisted learning and our format of equine assisted learning, because there's heaps of them out there now.
And I did say a huge hello to all of our horse loving peeps out there, because this is the best part of our live today is you have horses, or you're dreaming of working with your horses to be able to help humans to move forward. And this is such an incredible way that maybe you just never even knew it existed. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't even know, how is this even possible? Horses literally being a teacher? Yeah, it really is.
It is possible, and it's such a good career. So what we're going to be chatting about is how horses thrive. They don't just tolerate what's going on in these programs. They're actually thriving with them because we allow them to be the teachers. How our clients, they grow through the real outcomes that they get from working with the horses. So it's not like they just come and forget everything. They really are getting real life experience that they apply to their real life, and those skills are traveling with them the whole time that they're learning something with the horse. And then the third piece we're going to get into is how you, as a facilitator, maybe not yet, but maybe soon, you finally have a structure that can actually help move you forward. And that really is, well, I think for both of us, but for me especially, is that skeptical person. Without that, I don't know how you sell this. And I don't know how you get it out to people, because there's a lot of different programming that's got a lot of interesting techniques, if you will. And still unmuted. Oh, okay. So I unmuted, still no sound.
Really?
Well, I'm not sure then. Other people I think are getting sound though. That works. Sound is on. Tracy got it. Forgot to unmute sound. Maybe check your volume. Got it. Okay, good. Everybody's working now.
Woo.
Perfect.
But yeah, going back to that structure piece, like how do you go and present to an organization or to clients if there isn't some sort of a structure, and what are they going to get out of your program? Yeah. Like, is it they just come and see a horse? But what's the purpose with that, right? So it's kind of nice to always know that you have a solid foundation and structure, that when you're talking to your clients and your organizations, that you're showing them these clients are going to get this out of it. Like, it's absolutely, well, for us, our program, it's pretty much so a guarantee, because as long as you run the program the way it's designed, they're going to get something. And that's really important for people if they're going to pay you moolah cashers.
Yeah, moolah cashers.
Yes.
So before we go any further, we will introduce ourselves a little bit here. My name is Carolyn Charles, and I am the Director of Sales as well as an instructor and facilitator here at the Equine Connection. And as I mentioned, I am a born and bred skeptic. If there is not proof in the pudding, I don't like running with it. And even when Carrie first told me about this, I was like, okay, horses are talking. Yeah, sure they are. So it really is the fundamental principles, the form of delivery, the fact that there's an actual structure to this that gives it validity in my mind. And the fact that people are walking away with a skill each and every time, as long as we're running it right. That's what allowed me to get on board with this and to be able to bring it to organizations, to sell it, to let them know what they're going to get out of it, just as we were talking about as well. And the longer we do this for, the more proof there is that this truly works for all individuals trying to gain a little insight or build some skills and move forward with their lives.
And, you know, even touching on that piece too, it's not only understanding that there's a structure to the programs and the curriculum and exercises that you're running and how they're going to get to that result, but it's also understanding our horses.
Yes.
Like, it's through the dissection of the horse brain that we understand so much more now. It's through vets and workshops and people using all of those technical pieces to do measurements on what's happening to the human and to the horse. It's through evidence that's happening and those research components. And we can't ever stay stagnant. And that's the biggest thing in this industry. We must always be leveling up and growing with everything, because we are finding more and more and more solid proof information that helps our clients to say, that's why I feel this way when I'm with a horse, or that's why I find my answers when I'm with a horse, because they're understanding why we literally work with the horses.
And I think that why is necessary, especially like for us horse people, we've experienced so much with horses. We know that piece of how they make us feel. But for non-horse people, that means nothing to them now, because they have no idea what it's actually even going to be able to do for them.
No, there really isn't. I love that piece. So for myself, my name is Carrie Fulmick, and I am the founder of the Equine Connection. I've been doing this for now over 19 years. And I'm telling you, when we first started, what the heck is equine assisted learning? And now I look back and I mean, you see so many things happening in so many areas in the world that are working with horses because they're getting way better results than just having people sit in, four walls and learning those skills where, it's tactile, it's
Hands-on.
tangible. And that's right. You're literally working. The horse is always responding. It has been the most rewarding, purposeful career to me of my entire life. And I'm always about, hey, this could be my last breath on earth. So what are you doing in life there, Carrie? And ever since I've discovered this one, instead of, selling material things, that what do people need all these material things for, right? This has been so fulfilling because right in the moment you're seeing humans make a change right before your very eyes, because we literally allow that horse to be the teacher. The whole welfare is in with our horses, with your horses. We are not using horses here. And it's just not a part of how these programs can work because we don't believe in faking it. So if you're using a horse, it's kind of faking it, because is it really the truth of what that horse is really feeling?
Yeah, you're just putting your own stuff on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not talking riding or any disciplines like that. We're talking literally with our horses, moving, working on the ground, literally understanding their culture and their language. But it is breathtaking, very, very humbling. You can never get a big head when you're working with horses because they knock that right out of you. But yeah, it has been so absolutely stunning. So I think that brings us into the first thing that we were going to talk about today, was how the horses actually thrive here at the Equine Connection, with all of our facilitators, with hopefully, even if you've been following us, you've been learning some more knowledge and how to implement that to help our horses globally around the world, because that's what we all want to do, right?
I love what Laura said here too. I think that's the thing with all industries. We have to always be learning. We have to, she wrote that much better than I said it. We have to always be learning, or at least open to learning. And that's so true. If you think you've got it all, then you don't have it all. That's all there is to it.
Well, that is well said.
Just so profound today. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Right? So, in the beginning, we didn't know what we obviously know now, because of course that makes logical sense. So starting an equine assisted learning business, we think, all we have to do is show that there's a horse and that you get to come and be with a horse, and our door is going to be knocked down. Well, that never happened, my friends. We have had to work our little bumskis off like no tomorrow, to help people to understand what is equine assisted learning, because it's horse assisted learning with the people, but for them to understand what, like, they're thinking you're a little cuckoo, a little too fluffy. And that's why structure is so important in understanding that welfare piece of what our horse plays in the role with our program. So it started happening and I'm nervous. I was all by myself for my first couple of years because she was off in another province. Another city. Yeah. Another city. But, I'm like so scared. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to use the horse and do the wrong thing. I don't want to tell my clients the wrong things, because the cool part, it is. Yeah. I got a job immediately. As soon as I became certified, I got a job with Siksika Youth Medicine Lodge. So again, Carolyn was doing the marketing piece. I'm doing the actual facilitating piece, but I was PPM my pants because, again, what do I know? Do I know enough in order to be able to go and do this? We had Siksika for 9 years. Like, once you get your clients, you always have clients, and we'll get into that later. But anyways, as I'm going along, what I started discovering, and then Carolyn came in later, and she also started discovering horses started doing things with people, because we literally allow them to be the teacher. They're on a halter and a lead rope, but we're not pulling on them. We're just allowing them to go to the humans, do their thing.
To respond.
Yeah. Well, they would do certain things to people, and we're like, Well,
Is that okay?
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But look at the horse. Look at the horse. The horse keeps saying this is really safe. And then, of course, then you look at the human. The humans are tearing up or feeling such, I don't know.
They were just moved with things. And whatever, there was so many words like spiritual or healing or things like that kept coming up. And we didn't really know why at the time, right? Because we hadn't gone to that point. Like Laura said, the learning always has to continue. But we had never really gotten to that point as to why was that starting for people already when they hadn't done anything. It didn't matter if they were going through an obstacle or if they were just standing with the horse. The horses started really reacting and talking in the way that they knew how to help people out. And it was healing and spiritual. And we hate using the term, but it really is magical as to how it works. It just is.
So then, of course, that brings you to a new level of learning, because now it's like, now we have to understand, why is the horse doing that? So if the horse does that to another horse, why is that horse doing that to that horse? So it logically started making sense. And then, of course, a facilitator came into our life who got certified with us, who is a master Reiki with horses, but she helped us to understand even more through her workshops what it actually means. Because that's the proof in the pudding too. It's got to mean something, and it can't be coming from us as facilitators. It has to come from the actual human. So that was a first of all that really happened. But then the big next thing that happened in our business was a horse named Kokanee. So we're going to show you his picture.
Our handsome Kokanee, who is still with us.
He is still with us. He has always been a teacher for myself, but of course, teacher for all of our clients who come in. But
all of us.
Personally, it was really big, but he started to get kind of, I guess I'd say the word would be dangerous.
Because it wasn't just sour, it was highly responsive.
Yeah, and a horse whipping a head around, and he's Hanoverian thoroughbred. He's a big guy, and he got strength.
And he knows it.
Then we are getting very concerned. Of course, we would not have him come into our programs any longer. Even the vets were telling me you should, get rid of him. But I didn't want to get rid of him because his story was he was abandoned as a baby. And then, of course, he had a beautiful home before he came to us. He was a donation horse, a $10,000 donation horse, actually. But they could not help him in cantering to the left. He used to do, not dressage.
Yeah.
Oh, what's dressage?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten that.
Yeah, he was their dressage. And he was beautiful other than the cantering left. And they tried everything. Chiros, dentists, energy work, massage. They tried so many things to try to figure out what was going on with this horse, and they couldn't. But they loved him so much that's why he ended up coming to us. But
again, my heart's still sad because he was abandoned. And I once you start getting into this business, it's like you can't just go and sell horses anymore. I don't know, but that's just me. Like before, you would get another horse because you move up and you need a different one for the discipline you're going in. But I just did not want to do that. So then, of course, with our beautiful Leah Dick, we had done a lot of learning with her with the workshop. And she said, Carrie, have you thought, because it'd been 2 years that he hadn't worked with any clients, do you think that he's trying to teach you something to help other horses? I'm like, what? That's an interesting concept. And she's like, well, what do you do? Like when heavy stuff is coming to you as a human, how are you able to release that and let that go? We thought about it in the horses world. Oh my gosh. Well, that changed everything. Because then when we understood that the horses are carrying on so much of what people are putting on them, because we can't hear and feel everything that this stuff is doing to our horses, that this was the ultimate. So I remember I came back from the workshop and it was so cool. At the time, I think it was 10 horses we had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's so tickly here in Alberta.
Are you sure you don't want them in?
I might have to. So anyways, I got back and I went out because Kokanee was coming in, and I went over to him and I apologized to him, and I was crying, and all of the horses lined up, head to butt, head to butt, head to butt, head to butt. And they kind of did this semicircle around Kokanee and I. It was the most amazing time. But because of this horse, he changed everything for this certification, because now we have a maintenance program. You tell them more about that, because I'm going to cough.
You're going to cough. And it was very interesting bringing it back to Kokanee and how he was abandoned. He never learned that piece of how to release that they learned from their moms, right? So that was a big piece that came into our maintenance program as well, is how are we taking care of our horses when they're taking on so much from us, from our clients, from everything else. And we had heavy duty clients at that point too, that he was taking on a lot from. But the maintenance program was really because of Kokanee that we now take care of all of our horses and understand our horses better and what they need to get rid of all of that stuff. Just like us, we have to release at some point. If they don't know how, or if they aren't able to do that with other horses in the same way, he had to learn. And it really did become a giant part of our certification, is that maintenance program as well.
The other thing we learned was we weren't doing this for the almighty buck. We did want to make money, don't get me wrong, because you do want to make money in business. But once we understood what was happening with Kokanee, we're like, this will never, ever happen again to one of our horses.
Nope.
Because how it rolled, because we had the contract with Sig Siga Youth Medicine Lodge, which was a beautiful organization for youth at risk who are not abused, addicted to solvents, drugs, and alcohol. So every quarter it would be girls, then the next quarter would be boys, so forth and so forth. But a lot of it came from our boys, because what happened was a lot of them were court ordered to go to the medicine lodge.
They weren't there to learn. They
didn't want.
They had to be.
Yeah, they had to be, or you go to juvie, right?
Yeah.
So they were choosing to be there, but not really choosing to want to learn. So that was the promise we actually made to our horses. Well, that was many, many, many moons ago, but we promised them that we will no longer work with clients who didn't want to learn. So now we only work with clients who literally do want to learn. And that has changed our whole herds everywhere we go.
I think even for us, it changed a lot. And because there's something so satisfying about people who want that knowledge and want to move forward and change their lives in a different way. So it's been a great change. And yeah, Kokanee did bring up a ton of that for us. Sarah, I love her. The story always gets me right in the feels. And now I'm ugly crying at work. And we were off volume before when we said it too. If you guys are watching, let us know who you are and where you're from, because we do like to know all that piece too. And I got you people on Facebook now too. I can see you.
Excellent.
Yes.
But we have not only improved 1,000 times better, but maybe 1,000,000 times better, but it gets better all the time. And this is why this certification is so powerful, because as we learn more, especially in leveling up, that's always for the welfare and the benefit of our horses. Then it changes for our clients as well. It changes for everybody, because they're not being pulled on. They're not being used. We're not throwing fake things out there any longer. We're literally having such a trust with these horses, because we understand their language,
Yeah.
Not the human world language, the horse language to horse language, and being able to implement it. And one of our best ones that happened in 2023 was having Chris Irwin come into our life.
Yeah.
Like, he really helped us. Like, now that's changed the dynamics of this whole certification, because again, it goes back to the welfare of the horse. So nobody allowed to ever pull on a horse's head. We're learning and understanding to be connected within ourselves, to be aware of our body. What language do I use when I'm wanting to move this horse a certain way? Because we want to use and replicate the same language that they're using.
And I think that's one thing that we're very proud of in our certification too, is that continuation of knowledge, and not just knowledge in human psychology and all that kind of stuff, because we've learned a lot about humans too, but keeping up with that piece of the horse, right? Because we know this much, right? And we know a lot, but we know this much of the whole gamut of what we can do with our horses. And this isn't to say we learn something new and our whole lives change every single time, but we definitely make sure that all the knowledge that we get about the horses, we're implementing to not only our own lives, but to our certification as well. And I think there's a lot of certifications or programming out there that maybe hasn't kept up or hasn't kept moving forward for the horse, because I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of work to change things up when you have a whole certification and to switch it all and change everything for the welfare of the horse. It's
worth it.
But it's worth it if you're being authentic to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that is something that's huge for us, and we're very proud of it too.
The one thing to know too is we don't work with our horses every day. Mm-hmm. Neither do our facilitators. Like, we train them. Like, when you're making a living doing this business, you really only need to be working with them, 2 or 3 times a week. Or you do a weekend workshop, twice a month. Like, it's not like huge amounts that you need to be working. Like, you never want to put that much stress on horses, because again, we don't know what's coming at them. Going back to that Kokanee story and some of these teenage boys who didn't want to be there, what are they saying to him inside of their brain? Like,
this is stupid, I don't want to be here, or this, or blah, blah, blah.
And his heart was so big and wanting to help it. Think about all the bad stuff that was going to our horses that we had no idea that was going on to them. So this is why it's really so important to give your horse, let your horse be a horse too, and give them the breaks. And our programs are only an hour and a half long at the max. Every time we run an exercise or a program, it's an hour and a half. And that means we're probably in the arena 40 to 50 minutes. Otherwise, we're doing all the other stuff to bring it all together with that structure.
And I'll go on a bit of a soapbox while Carrie coughs here, but
I'm sorry.
It's just going to be there for you. I think that's all there is to it. As soon as we start a live, tickle, tickle, every time. But, we've seen other things where people in different programmings or certifications are utilizing horses essentially as whiteboards for a human trauma dump. And that's not, where they're writing the negative things they feel about themselves on the horse. And I get what they're trying to do there, is that they're trying to release it from the human. But is that fair in any way for any sentient being to have negativity literally, purposely applied to them that way? It's really not, when we're not thinking of the horse enough, and sounds like a good idea at the time, right? Until you really think of what implications that might have. And if you forget about the implications of people to your horses, you're doing a disservice to them and the industry.
And it's danger. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. Number one thing. Everything else rolls around it, but that's what you're always aiming for when you're running your programs. So we want to show you a video. Now, here's the thing. We hear this all the time, and I know you have said this yourself, because you're horse people. It's so windy out. No wonder they're more hysterical, or they're not feeling safe because the wind is crazy. Now, we have a facilitator in Ontario, and she was running her programs outside. This is abused women who come to her program once a week, okay? And again, it's only for about an hour and a half. But she's doing this outside. So we want you to see and understanding the welfare of the horse and how we're training and doing it. This is what can be accomplished when we always keep the safety of the horse first.
Okay. So you're gonna, is this the big part? Yeah, that's the big part, but first you have to put the smaller part on. The snout is right there. Yeah. It's okay, Poppy. So no, down.
Oh God, he's gonna leave.
No, he's not. He's not going anywhere. Okay. There you go. You're on.
He's like,
now you're gonna put it over here. Yeah.
good boy.
Over the next ear.
Did you watch that horse the entire time? The safety that horse felt, and even the woman who is blind, the tenderness that came to it. So not only trusting the human who is guiding her through, but the horse. The other human just got her hand on the neck. Means nothing, because 1,200 pounds can leave you quite easily. But wasn't that absolutely just breathtaking to watch?
And the wind, I mean, it makes you think that can be just an excuse for us too, because that wind was annoying to me.
Oh, it's so annoying,
right? But we left it in there on purpose, because you can hear how windy it is, but that's still the tenderness and the communication and the connection that they have there was so beautiful in that piece too. I love that video.
I do too. I should watch it more often. Okay, let's go into our second portion, which is how the clients continually grow, because there's always results that are attached to every time they come and go with you. Well, it could be with you, but with us, every time you run a program, it's another skill that they're learning to apply and implement into their life. And then the next week they come, they've already got that skill. Now they're going to add it into a new skill that they're going to be learning. And it just keeps going and going and going. It's like it's a building block process so that all of these skills will make them stronger moving forward.
It creates that foundation for life. And again, we mentioned in the beginning of this about the parallels and how it does go back to life, but it really is, that's the coolest part. Well, one of the coolest parts, because every part's cool of this course too, is that it's not just going to stay in the arena. You know, it's not just hanging out with a horse, which we know is lovely. We know it's very therapeutic to be around them. We know all those pieces, but it's not doing that. It's actually taking, through the structure that we have, taking what they've learned out there and how they're going to put it into action. And the journals and the things, the feedback that we get sometimes are absolutely phenomenal for how they are actually going to apply this to life. Like I figure out, Faye showed me boundaries. I have no boundaries in my life. I need to set, I'm going to block everybody like I did Faye. You know what I mean? Like there's always so many things that they really do pick up from it and apply.
Yeah. One of my favorites was Disco taught me that I'm worthwhile.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like he never felt worth before, but the horse showed him he was worthy. And it's like, how can you even make this stuff up? It's just so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So how these clients grow, continue with results too. That was a huge thing for me when I started. I wanted to work with horses all my life, but I didn't know in what way. I didn't want to be a trainer. I just really wanted to be with horses all the time. And I had no idea that you could mix humans and horses together on the ground with these incredible programs. So when I found it, I'm like, okay, so how would I sell it though? Because my thing is, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business person. There has to be logical sense when I go in to meet that corporation and talk to these people. There has to be the words that I understand that your employees, your clients are going to get this kind of result out of it because of blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So this is why it was really crucial that it was a program that made sense, that the programs that I would be running, objectives are met because of the organizations or the corporations that we're working with. And by cracky, that is what it has been sustainable, because I don't have to be a therapist to understand this piece. I have to literally tell the executive that because of your clients coming to this, because we're going to work with the objectives that you're wanting them to work on, this is the result, which is now going to benefit your organization or your company, however it is you're rolling with it. But you got to need to know how to speak to the people so that it's clear. Otherwise, us horse people, we kind of get in on a rant of talking on our horses, which is nice and sweet, but we want some professional, this is what you're going to get out of it, right?
And for people that don't know horses, that again, it means nothing.
It means nothing to them except they're big.
And the cool piece with this too is that this is applicable to all human beings who need skills, which PS is all of us. So it really can be, we talk about corporate programs. We've talked about with Sig Siga, we had our youth programs. We've worked with women at risk. We worked with women with trafficking, who have been through trafficking, men recovering from addiction, youth recovering from addiction, leadership youth groups. There's corporate team building. There's so many ministries. Yep. There's so many different aspects you can take with this. And a lot of times it ends up being the one that means the most to you, right? Where you have some personal experience, whether it be a women's workshop for recovering from divorce or something along we had one lady who even breast cancer survivors. And how they're, and moving back into their lives and reintegrating into what life looks like now for them. So there really is no cap on who can go through this. If you're working with people in, active addiction, they're not even at a
No.
place of authenticity yet. They're not moving forward yet. People who have PTSD that are very, very fresh with it, they do need some therapy portions to go with those things as well, obviously. But the families of PTSD or people who are affected by that, there's so many different avenues to go down to help the people that are important to you. And I think that's usually where people end up with, is the ones that's closest to their heart.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest part with being a facilitator is understanding it's not your journey. It's always the client's journey. And when we can step back and allow the horse to teach the way they naturally teach, the human to find the answers because the horse told them, not ourselves. And you just, I don't know, it's just, again, it's just so breathtaking to see these transformations happen because you just allow that process to take place for that human who needs to learn in a completely different way.
And it really is.
It really is. Like
I was just going to ask a question to everyone too, because we kind of talked about how you felt that from always knowing you wanted to do something with horses, right?
Always.
I came into it late. I did not always know that I wanted to do something with horses. But where were you guys at? Like, have you always wanted to have a career with horses? Or is it something new? Is it something you didn't know existed? Like, where were all of you at in thinking, like, why are you watching today? What is it that you're hoping to come from this? And is a career with horses something you've considered?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a lot. So we did a woman's workshop a month ago. So the women's workshop, we do it on a Friday, Saturday. So in that Friday and Saturday, you're probably doing 2 exercises, 2 programs each day. And then, of course, we've got some classroom time. And then we go back out to the horses and implement all of that learning. This was just, okay, so this is the first day, the Friday. Everybody leaves around 3:30. Next morning, they come back. The epiphany was outrageously bizarre because we haven't even seen this happen in the 19 years we've been doing this.
It's big.
The one lady said, I have to share this with you. So she shares with the group of women that last night I broke off a friendship that has been so poisoned to my life for so many years, but I had the courage to do it last night. So she broke off this friendship.
Like a long time friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she was just too, nervous, too scared. You know how it all happens, right? And then the other lady had been with her boyfriend for over a year. But that night, she said, I went home and I told him for the first time I loved him. And we're like, wow. Like,
yeah. And that was huge for her because she'd never been able to pull that out, to trust anyone with that, knowing that she loved them kind of thing. It was huge for her.
It was like mind-blowing that just from one day, them working with horses, them finding their own answers to their own life, getting the results because they worked with horses. You're like, holy jumping tuna fish. Like, you couldn't even fathom that this could happen in just one day. You know what I mean?
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love all these people answering the questions too. It seems like I am the odd man out. Most of you have known that this is something that you wanted to do for quite some time. Sarah, I've always had horses and always searched for a way to make a living. I love this work and thank you both so much for showing me the way. I truly owe everything to you. Thank you. Aw, that's so sweet, Sarah. Chrissy, horses have been part of her life since she was 9. Never really realized they could be part of a career until about 4 years ago. Who knew, right?
I know.
And Tracy, my heart goes out to you. I lost my oldest son to suicide, so I wanted to help others using animal-assisted learning.
It's sorry and beautiful.
And that's heart-wrenching.
Yes.
But I love that you're taking that and wanting to help others with that piece too. So beautiful. And Shelly-Ann, always. Jamie, always. Main Connection, which I think is Petra, right? Yeah, she always wanted to do it, but not to give riding lessons.
No.
Check. True.
Yeah. I so agree with that. Oh man, that's just so wonderful.
Brianna, I've always known 3 things. Always knew I was meant to be with horses. I knew I was meant to teach and help. And I knew I was a bridge. You guys wrapped that. I felt in my gut all into something better that I could have imagined. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you, Brianna.
That's lovely. I love that too. Oh, that's so wonderful. What we can do with a love and a passion with these, they are unicorn magical horses.
Yeah.
But of course, not having fluff now. Now we're actually implementing this into real life.
I've experienced burnouts as a nurse.
Oh,
We have
man.
a lot of nurses.
We have a lot of
A lot,
nurses and a lot of
teachers.
teachers.
Yeah. And the same kind of thing with the burnout piece of it.
That's what I was going to say, even with Tracy and sharing that as well. And I mean, with any of you, you know, in this world where so many people are they're lost, they're confused, there's no worth, they don't understand the path in their life, they don't get how cool and unique that they are, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's the greatest joy that you see with, and again, Tracy, anything, an animal assisted learning, the power that beautiful little human, I call them little, but they're not little.
Yeah.
These humans feel is outrageous. Like the other day, we work with the Calgary Dream Center, which is a men's addiction center. So they're in recovery. They're learning their skills so they can take it away and do it in their own lives. But this guy looked at us, and they come in a group of like 8 to 10 guys, and they come once a week. And he says, you know, besides major thank yous, they just love us. And the horses, they said, why do you work with losers like us?
Yeah.
And our hearts were like, you're not a loser, like you're a human.
No. And it just always shocks me that that's not, a horse wouldn't work with you if you're an actual loser, or,
right?
You know, all these unsafe things. Like, look into yourself and what the horse sees in you for what you truly are and feel. And we always say to them too, the only difference between you and us is one choice.
So true.
That's it. We're not there to judge or anything else. Aubrey's comment here too, I'm going to mention.
Yeah, sure.
I'm still searching for a way to include horses in my career. I have got a while been at a barn that assists people with disabilities. I've always known that I was a horse person, but making a career out of it sometimes just seems tough. And I'll be honest. Tough. Yeah, it is. But that's why you sign up with the right group.
Yeah, because that's how we help you. Because I tell you, any kind of business, if you're doing it all by yourself, it's so freaking hard. But at least when you're with a group of people who help train and guide and move you forward, and when you're stuck, you got a group to count on or call us directly. Like, there's power in being with like-minded people who are after the same goal of helping humans to be able to move forward or heal or connect with themselves, working with horses. Yeah. So yeah, we do agree.
And see, even with that heart piece that we go to, Laura dreams of having a horse business since I was a kid. Fast forward to today, I tried breeding, training, etc. I failed and found out last year that I'm autistic. I would love to help other autistic kids or people, as well as the owners' business, businesses, and nonprofits to do with pets, including horses.
Love it. Yeah. These are some great goals and dreams, my friends. And I do have to agree. I dreamt of working with horses, like when I was a little girl. Like, it kept me the whole way through. And it wasn't until I was actually I was just getting into my 40s. So I think it was around 39 that I found my purpose. Yeah. And it was with horses, but it took a long time to get there.
And I'll just read these two other ones.
Okay,
and then
we'll finish off with the third thing.
Yeah. So Mike was 10 years old, and his dad lent his horses to the New Mexico Special Olympics at the time, and they rode them. But the dynamics between the horses and those clients was so amazing that even at 10 years old, I could see there was some kind of connection in helping people with horses. And I waited my whole life until I was 42 years old and finally bought my own horses, and then met you girls and showed me this beautiful, wonderful program.
Aww.
And then Brianna, I gave riding lessons for a long time. Me and the horses all burnt out terribly. Love all that I've helped still so much. It's taken several years to come back, and I'm stoked to see what can see from the ground.
Oh, it's so cool. The groundwork.
Amazing.
I think it's one of my most favorites.
It is. I don't like that.
I like to ride, but my favorite is on the ground because you get to hear them more. You know, It's very cool.
So now we go from the feely to the.
Now we go into the certified facilitator, so that you understand the third part in the structure that you'll have. So there's always got to be, again, this is the structure. You need a logic model to know what it is you're going to be presenting, how it will help with you, your clients, feeling more, to me, professional and confident in what it is you're going to be doing with your horses.
Well, that there's a logic to it, right?
Exactly.
You know, and again, we say that us as horse people, we understand what it is we're getting from our horses. Non-horse people, they need this. They need to know, why is it going to work?
Yeah.
What is this something to buy into? Because otherwise they just see horses on TV and that's all they know about them.
Exactly.
I love that one.
So the best part with any of our exercises, like we were telling you, and we're going to give you a little snippet of how we ran one long ago with a youth group, but it's fun, but you can see it. There's always a beginning, there's always a middle, there's always an end. But with the end comes the parallels so that they can capture that learning that they just did with the horse, again, hands-on, to carry it into their own lives. With this, that's the form of delivery that you always have. So anytime you're running it, you're confident in understanding there's a form of delivery that goes with each exercise that you have in your programs, which is so exciting. But there always has to be that it has to have the result, which is how we do it with our appropriate application as well. So you get learned, you get you get trained, and understanding how those pieces roll together.
And there is synchronicity, I guess, with that because it's all laid out for you already.
Yes, you don't have to think about it.
Which is really hard to think of all that stuff. And thank goodness for our beautiful Tamara McKinnon who has helped us along the way. But just to give you guys an idea, like this is just a snippet that you guys probably means nothing to you. But at the same token, it just lets you know that for everything that we do, we have the rhythm and rhyme to it. We have the format to go through it, but we also have the materials that all go with it. And it's clean and it's professional and it's set up so that you are able to literally step out the door and run these programs rather than having to recreate the wheel or create a program.
Much work.
Do you remember that old one that you tried when you first started that you tried to create?
Yeah, when I was first getting into this, you had to kind of make your own program app. Oh my Lord. I think I made a program for 3-year-olds, and 3-year-olds aren't even capable of learning piece that I needed to teach yet. So some people have just gifted in understanding because, well, I'll tell you how it was done. First of all, Tamara McKinnon is the one who's come up with these brilliantly, objectively driven programs that all have a skill that humans are learning every time. And that's what we need in this world. We need to build skills so that we have strength in the world because this world is so darn hard. It's beautiful in so many ways, but it's so hard. So she created it. So there is always a result that's going to come, a predictable outcome, if you will. She took everything and how do wild horses communicate? And then she took the research on how do human beings learn. How human beings learn is still taught in universities and colleges today. She married the two and designed them with these skills. Like, it's so phenomenal because there is always a result. In the 19 years we've been doing this, there's not one human that doesn't get a result because we are in that form of delivery and understanding how you get to those results with that predictable outcome. So it's very, very, very powerful.
And this is why you don't have to be a therapist for it either. And it's a skill development program versus therapy because we've got all those pieces into it that allow us to not go to, the past or the human psyche or any of those pieces that we shouldn't touch because we're not therapists. It allows us to really focus on that objective and the skills that we're bringing to people.
Now, the horses might be the therapist, though.
Yeah.
I always like to put that in because we don't need a degree in order to have our own business, to help humans to move forward, to build skills because you're trained to understand how to facilitate. You're not teaching things. You're facilitating and guiding people because people have their own answers. You just have to help them to be able to get there on their own with that facilitating idea. But the horse piece with the therapy, I think that is the biggest thing because, again, we don't have to be degreed. I don't think the horses are degreed. They're just powerful at doing it because I tell you, the things that happen with humans finding answers to their own heart and soul, you couldn't even, I don't know, predetermine that could ever happen. Like, humans come up with the most amazing things when they've been with a horse.
Yeah.
Even the other day in the Four Musketeers that you ran.
Oh, yeah.
That one guy with Kokanee.
What did he say? I'm happy with Kokanee. If I could feel like I feel with Kokanee every day, I would be happy or something like that.
Yeah, I forget.
What was it? Dang it. I always have to take a picture.
I know. But it is pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
We'll show you guys this little snippet. We won't go through the whole thing.
No.
But no.
No, we don't want to keep you on too long, but it will give you an idea that this is a program we ran called Circuit Training with
Safe
Programs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
One of your curriculum programs.
Yeah.
See, what do we always do on top of our head?
I was going to say we need helmets for safety. We can't go behind the horse's back without, you have to go fall or you have to put.
Yeah. Either really tight or super tight, right?
Good job.
How do we read the horse's body language? What parts of their body do we look at? You guys remember?
Eyes, ears, the head.
And where the head is?
Good.
And the tail. Very good.
So if the ears are up, what does that mean? Are they happy or really grumpy? Happy. Very good. And if they go all the way back? That's right. What about tail? If it's swooshing, is that happy or is that not happy?
Fly.
Yeah.
That means you're bugging it.
There you go. That's right. Because if there's no flies on them, the bugs is us, right?
Who watches your feet? Is it you guys or the horse?
The horse.
Can the horse watch our feet for us?
No, but we want his feet.
That's right. We always gotta make sure our little toes are nice and safe out there as well, right?
Now we talked about the two ends, or the two ways to walk behind the back of the horse. What about the very...
For a quick second. So this is just some of the items that we do here at the beginning, especially with kids, to recap what was going on last time. What did they learn and how are they going to implement it? Because that again goes with that building block piece. We don't want to forget everything that happened last week. We want to bring it always into the next week. And of course, with kids, the safety portion.
Always.
Very good.
But even if you notice, like, it's not teaching, it's facilitating. It's having them be responsible to ask the questions, to be accountable to figuring it out. And, oh man, youth are so cool because they just keep answering you, you know, like they're so involved. I just love these little kidlets.
They get very, very excited. You're bugging it.
It's so funny. I love it. I love it
too. So I don't know if we want to go out a little more on that or no.
I don't know. We can
this.
see where we're at.
Does it let me go ahead? It does not.
No.
That seems kind of rude, doesn't it? Oh, now it does. Let's go a little further. Just see what's happening here and what we're talking about.
Right? Okay.
I like that.
So Carolyn is going to be our beautiful horse today for this demo, okay? So see, just like Sterling's picture. So Carolyn is about, let's say Jordy's size, 1,000 pounds.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So she weighs 1,000 pounds. Do you think that I can move Carolyn the horse if she really did weigh 1,000 pounds just because I'm pushing on her? No. If she don't want to move, she is not going to move. So we got to ask Carolyn the horse the right way. So if I need her to go that way, where does my energy, where do I need to face? Forward to her? So would I go like this?
What did you say?
Exactly.
The direction we wanted to go. Exactly.
Think of your belly button as it's a laser pointer, and wherever you need to go is through your belly button. Okay? So here we go. The laser pointer from Carolyn the horse. I'm going to give her a little pressure. Carolyn, please move. And the thank you is I took my hands off of her. So if you keep putting pressure, please, the horse doesn't know that he's doing the right job. So we just give him a little her. Please. And the thank you is we do not.
So that's a good example too of how we are getting, because with kids, the objective of that one is a little different than it would be with adults. But we bring in the objective even into this beginning part, so they start understanding what it is that we're going to hit on for that day.
And then we take it into the arena to do it. Now, I'm sorry, but that looked like so much fun. Like,
right?
Now
I'm here watching.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, how much fun have we had?
We really have.
So, any hoodle, I think. Just two more things, and then we're going to end it with the surprise of the subsidy thing. Right?
Not a surprise anymore.
Well, it is because she hasn't talked to you about it yet.
No, I haven't yet.
We also, in this certification, teach you and help you to understand how to work with organizations, because that's truly the best way to have your business. Because if you're already working with organizations who are already working with clients who are building skills, it's just such a win-win. It's a complement to what it is that they're already doing. So the beauty is we grow and train with you. I love that part of our certification. We have had our facilitators with us.
Many moons.
Oh,
yeah.
man, I guess we've been certifying since 2012, but we still have some of our originals still with us. Like, it is amazing, this group of people. And of course, as we grow and change, we implement it and train and give it to you and support you throughout the lifetime of your career as well. But it's really beautiful being with a group of like-minded people.
Because otherwise, like Aubrey said, it's hard.
It's so hard. It's like the Maytag repairman. You don't want to be alone.
No, not alone.
No.
So what we'll tell you about a little bit too is, for any of you who have been following us for a while, our subsidy, Pay It Forward subsidy fund was available, and then we did close it. But the second period is opening up for the Pay It Forward subsidy. So the few things to know about this: this is not a full grant. This is a subsidy program. So this will subsidize part of your training fee, but we do need you to read the application guide, which we can make available for you guys as well. And then we also need you to fill out a form because, well, you have to apply.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
It's the way you pay it forward.
So we have opened it right now. It is not open for forever, and it will take a few weeks for us to get back and get through everything. So if this is something that you are really looking at doing, and maybe money has been the problem for you, this is something to look into. So the Pay It Forward Fund, you can find right on our homepage of our website, equineconnection.ca, and there is a little link to it right on there for you to go find out the information.
And if you don't need the subsidy, I mean, the Thoroughbred or the Clydesdale package is the ultimate, because then you're always with us. You're always growing and moving in the world direction, whatever it's going to be. But the world definitely needs all of us. They just don't know that we all exist yet. Mm-hmm. And because there's so few of us in this whole global world, man alive, and we know so many humans who desperately need to find something. And it's moving forward. Like, how do I move forward? How do I feel worth? How do I be connected to myself? How do I heal? How do I healthily grieve and heal, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many power pieces to what it is that we do. But we weren't put on this earth to play small, my friends. Nope. This is part of your purpose, part of our purpose. And if you've got those horses, my goodness, it's part of their purpose too. We have horses like Brandon. He'll knock on the back door when he is not invited in to teach that day. He don't like not being a part of it.
Mm-hmm. They love their jobs.
They really do love their jobs. And this is the difference that's going to set your soul and your heart on fire and make you feel like you're doing the purpose that you were also called to do. And it's helping humans to be able to move forward. But why not do it with your pony pones? Why not do it with those you can smell, which I'm talking to the horses, okay?
Yeah,
I'm not talking to people.
Yeah, it makes it weird.
Remember, tomorrow is not promised. So don't keep waiting. And I love what Tracy said too. It is never too late. I'll be 56. Darn tootin' galootin'. We've had a 73-year-old before too. Yep. Because why not?
Petra said here as well, finding your purpose at 60. You showed me it's never too late.
Aw, I love it.
So thank you so much, everybody. And like Carrie just said, tomorrow isn't promised. So make sure you start moving forward today.
Have a great one, everyone.